All right, so last night, Lucknow's Ekana Stadium. Huh.
Oh,
Electric atmosphere Mumbai Indians versus the Lucknow Super Giants.
you could really feel that tension.
April 4th, 2025, every game in the IPL just vital,
Absolutely.
for those standings, and you could just feel that radiating off the pitch.
Yeah.
Hardik Pandya, MI's captain, wins the toss,
Okay.
and he makes a call to bowl first.
Interesting.
Bold move, right?
Yeah. What do you think was the thinking behind that?
You got to think fresh wicket, right?
Right.
Track conditions early on, the possibility of dew later in the evening.
That's so many factors, yeah.
Makes you think, calculated risk.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially when you look at the firepower that, IPL teams possess.
Exactly. And something else,
Yep.
Rohit Sharma, huge absence.
Ah, yeah, that's right.
Reported knee injury kept him off the field.
Big loss.
Big loss, and you could sense it. I mean, losing that kind of experience at the top of the order.
Absolutely.
That calming influence.
Definitely changes things up.
It forces a rejig of MI's batting plans, don't you think?
Totally agree.
And then you have on the other side,
Yeah.
now their captain, Rishabh Pant,
Okay.
walks onto that ground,
Great.
carrying the weight of a 27 crore price tag.
Huge.
King's ransom, really.
Yeah,
But recent form hadn't quite matched that investment.
that's right. He had, 17 runs in the previous 3 games, right?
17 runs, that's it, in 3 games. So the pressure cooker was definitely on.
Makes you think of, you've got this prized asset,
Yeah,
but it's not delivering those returns. Everyone's waiting for that spark.
exactly. And so LSG begin their innings.
All right.
And those initial overs, it felt like a chess match.
Okay.
Trent Bolt, MI's opening bowler, he was incredibly disciplined.
Really?
6 runs in that first over.
Wow.
Tight controlled, like he was almost setting a trap.
It's that strategic battle right from the outset.
Yeah, and then they just accelerated.
Hey,
Mitchell Marsh and Aiden Markram,
Yeah.
they unleashed just a torrent of runs,
Unbelievable.
especially Marsh during that power play.
Yeah.
It was brutal. 60 runs in that initial phase.
Wow.
Breathtaking power hitting, clearing the boundary.
Against some good bowlers, too.
Deepak Chahar, Ashwani Kumar, Mitchell Santner.
Not easy to do that.
I mean, poor Santner went for 23 in a single over.
Ouch.
It felt like every connection was finding the ropes.
It changes the whole game when you get a power play like that.
I know. I was watching the highlights. I thought, man, am I in for a long chase if this continues?
I bet.
He looked unstoppable. But then Vinesh Puthar,
Okay.
and maybe not a name that's on everybody's lips,
Right.
but he plucks out Marsh with a return catch.
Wow.
Gone for 60 off of 27 balls.
Well, he still set them up pretty well, though.
He laid this foundation, but his innings was cut short.
Yeah, it's that unpredictable nature of T20.
Absolutely.
A moment of just pure dominance.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere,
Gone.
it's gone.
So then up comes Nicholas Pooran.
Okay.
Second ball, 6, third ball, 4.
He's not waiting around.
He was trying to maintain that tempo,
Yeah.
but his stay was fleeting.
Okay.
Pandya brings himself back into the attack.
Interesting.
Bowls a slightly shorter delivery, and Porchelman mistimes it.
Oh, no.
Straight into the hands of Deepak Chahar.
Right.
12 runs off of 6 balls.
So a fiery cameo.
Cameo, for sure.
Yeah, but you're right. Pandya as captain making those interventions.
And then comes the moment everyone's waiting for.
Yeah.
Rishabh Pant strides out to the crease.
All eyes on him.
Thunderous ovation.
I bet.
This was his opportunity, right?
Yeah.
To silence those doubters, justify that price tag.
That's right.
And then,
What happened?
leading edge off of Pandya's bowling,
Oh.
sharp diving catch by substitute Corbin Bosch.
Wow.
Pant is gone for 2 runs.
The pressure must have been immense.
The groan from the LSG fans.
It's got to affect you.
And meanwhile, in all of this action,
Yeah.
Aiden Markram was crafting a really composed innings.
Interesting.
While those big hitters were doing their thing, he was accumulating, providing that anchor reaching his 50 in 34 balls.
Not flashy, but so important.
The steady hand in the midst of the storm.
It's that classic partnership, right?
Yeah.
Contrasting styles.
And then you have, in the final few overs, David Miller. Fireworks at the death. 27 runs off of 14 balls.
Wow.
Pushed LSG past that 200 mark.
So important.
Exactly what they needed to finish strong.
It just gives you that psychological advantage going into that second innings.
Yeah. And speaking of strong performances,
Yeah.
can't overlook Hardik Pandya's bowling.
5-wicket haul.
5 for 36.
Amazing.
First 5-wicket haul by an IPL captain in the history of the league.
You don't see that every day.
Individual brilliance, but they ended up losing.
That's the thing about cricket, though.
Right?
It's a team sport.
LSG finished their innings at 203 for 8.
Okay, so MI have a big chase ahead of them.
daunting task, 204 runs.
That's a mountain to climb.
And the start wasn't good.
What happened?
Openers Will Jacks and Ryan Rickleton back in the dugout quickly.
Yeah.
Caught by Ravi Bishnoi off the bowling of Akashdeep and Shardul Thakur.
All right.
So 17 for 2 in the third over.
Not the start they wanted.
Required run rate was climbing.
Had to be tough.
But then Namantir and Suryakumar Yadav, they came out with a purpose.
I bet.
Deer especially just launched this counterattack.
Yeah.
Took Akashdeep to task.
Really?
21 runs in a single over.
Wow, that'll change the momentum.
Shifted the momentum, completely forged a 69-run partnership.
Nice.
And suddenly, MI were right back in it.
Amazing. What a turnaround.
It was exhilarating to watch.
Yeah.
And just when it looked like Deer might just take the game away,
Oh.
he gets bowled by Digvesh Rathi.
Okay.
46 off 24 balls.
He had a good knock.
He did, but Rathi had that notebook celebration.
I saw that.
A little cheeky.
It's all part of the game.
It is. It adds a little spice.
That's a logical battle as well.
Meanwhile, SKY Suryakumar Yadav was on another level.
He's so good.
Reached his half-century, continued to anchor that chase. Tilak Varma provided some good support.
Yeah.
15th over MI were looking strong. 143 for 3.
SKY was still there, right?
SKY was on 61.
They had a real chance.
The atmosphere was electric.
I bet.
But then the turning point, Tilak Varma falls, and then SKY, after a magnificent 67, he's dismissed as well.
On utters.
The complexion of the game changed completely.
It did?
The pressure swung back, needing 40 runs off the final 3 overs.
So much pressure.
And in walks Hardik Pandya with the bat.
Right.
Carrying the weight of those bowling heroics and the hopes of everyone.
I bet.
But he couldn't rediscover that magic.
Tough to switch back and forth like that.
Struggled to find his timing.
Right.
It was almost agonizing to watch.
Yeah, especially after that bowling performance.
And in the end, they fell short, 191 for 5, losing by 12 runs.
Heartbreaker.
So close.
It's amazing how those little moments
I know.
can make all the difference.
LSG emerged victorious by 12 runs.
Yeah.
Ekana Stadium erupted.
Home crowd.
Home crowd advantage.
So important.
And you had the contrasting emotions of those two captains.
Oh, yeah.
One celebrating a hard-fought victory, the other grappling with defeat despite his own brilliance.
It really highlights those dual responsibilities.
Yeah.
You know, especially for a captain who's a key all-rounder.
And you can't overlook SKY's inning.
He was incredible.
Magnificent knock just wasn't enough.
Sometimes that happens.
And, you know, for LSG, Marsh's explosive start set the tone.
Right.
Markram's composed 50, and then Miller's late fireworks.
Yeah, it was a really good team performance.
And then there's the ongoing Rishabh Pant narrative.
Yeah.
The weight of that price tag.
It's got to be tough.
When will we see that defining innings?
Yes. The question everyone's asking.
It's a lingering question mark.
It's fascinating to watch how he responds.
So another chapter unfolds in the IPL saga.
It's always exciting.
The brilliance.
Yeah.
The strategic battles.
Yeah.
Just leaves you contemplating.
It does.
The uncertainty of it all.
It's what makes T20 so great.
It really is.
So much to think about after that match.
Plenty to ponder.
Yeah, definitely.